all of Dave's old meds. As soon as he said he was suicidal, they took him to the hospital and put them all in there. I mean, if he really wanted to commit suicide, there's nothing I could do about it, but I wasn't gonna make it easy.
This all started off with a bad relationship and some tests, anxiety, and stress in grad school, and now I am a totally dysfunctional, highly suicidal individual. And the only thing that's happened between then and now is I've been exposed to a series of very strong psychiatric medications.
Right now, medicines are given like candy. Patients are seeing doctors for 5 minutes and they're given a pill. It's my belief that many of the medications that doctors are giving to patients today are more harmful than helpful to those patients.
They want that pill that they hope will take care of their problem thoroughly and rapidly, and most of these medications will actually do that very well in the short term. In the short term, they really work. The problem is in the long term, they're mostly disastrous.
I'm not sick. There's nothing wrong with me. This is just damage to my nervous system caused from a properly taken prescribed drug that a doctor told me was safe. There's nothing safe about this drug.
This is crazy. It's very clear to me after having studied the science that the way we use psychiatric drugs do vastly more harm than good.
I remember driving my niece to school and I was like, all the kids are gonna be murdered. And then like that thought created adrenaline. So then when the adrenaline kicked, I was like, oh my God, am I gonna be the one that does it? And then it's like, yeah, Angie, you're gonna kill these kids. And then I'm like sitting here looking at my niece like, I can't, and the thoughts are so bad that like your like teeth chatter. Like, oh my God, I'm capable of that? Are you kidding me? I was never like this. That's the scariest part because I don't know, is this my normal? Like, did Effexor do this to me? Did Cymbalta do this to me? Did Geodon, Abilify? Which one? Which one did it?
I was very successful academically. I got accepted into the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. After Annapolis, I did a few years on a destroyer based out of Mayport, Florida. And then when you're at sea, you're training to be the guy directing the ship where to navigate, where to go. It's great fun, but it's also extremely high stress. But I loved it. I was pre-selected for satellite systems engineering. Part of that was going to grad school. When I got the acceptance letter from MIT, it was one of those moments where you're just like, this is not happening. You know, it must be a mistake. But then, you know, stars have aligned, and I was really happy. Fall semester went off, you know, without a hitch. I had started a romantic relationship earlier that summer. The early spring is when things started to fall apart. My romantic relationship kind of took a turn, you know, became toxic. You know, I was in distress. I was overwhelmed. We were taking upwards of 4 to 5 graduate level courses a semester. And so I sought out care from the mental health clinic at MIT, the campus clinic. Presented solution to my problems was a prescription for the benzodiazepine Ativan, which I'd never previously known about or taken, and Zoloft. They work as advertised. I mean, it's very immediate effect. It's very calming.
Dave told me probably on our 3rd or 4th date that he was on medication for depression and ADHD. I have ADHD myself and take medication for that. I had issues with depression and sought out help and medication and counseling, and it's kind of fairly normal now.
I met the girl of my dreams. I got engaged during that period. Work was great, loved it, you know, back to my normal, what I thought was my normal self. Somewhere in the 8-month time range, I started noticing emotional flatness, some sexual dysfunction. difficulty remembering what street we lived on. That whole period is just a blur. Like, I was a zombie. Had this big wedding planned. I can remember talking to my mom prior to it. I was, Mom, I feel nothing. I feel emotionally void of anything. And that's when I went to the psychiatrist and said, this stuff isn't for me. I need to get off it. I think the drug is my problem. That's really when shit hit the fan.